Connecticut's #1 local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
We are waking up with an early warning weather alert. We have team coverage this morning of the snowy weather. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm Wendell Edwards. Today is February 19th. Scott, Haney and Melissa Kohler are both in the Weather Center as more snow is expected throughout the day. So let's get straight to the experts. Good morning.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, everybody. We are talking about a day full of snow, though it won't accumulate too much more. We're looking at another 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches of accumulation. So light snow off and on through the day. And you can see that here on live early warning pinpoint Doppler. Northern Connecticut, it's a little steadier, especially around Summers right now in Enfield, Ellington, Vernon, East Hartford, Hartford, and Granby. So your travels this morning have reduced visibility with that snow coming on down. And even around the Waterbury, New Britain, Southington, and Cheshire area, we're seeing some snow. And we do expect the radar to fill in at times today. And then at times we'll also have some lulls. And you can see right now we're in some steady snow in downtown Hartford. Not much to see out there in terms of visibility. 26 degrees, winds out of the north at 10. So we also have wind chill values that are pretty chilly this morning, thanks to that gusty wind and those cold temperatures. Here's a look in Old Saybrook right now. We had some freezing drizzle earlier. Now we have some light snow flurries, and you can see some ice on the camera lens there, thanks to some of that freezing rain and drizzle earlier on this morning. Visibilities are reduced because of that snow coming on down to a mile or less in the Hartford area, 1.25 miles in Waterbury and Windsor Locks. So the temperature trend today, well, we're not going to warm up a whole lot. We're in the 20s right now. We'll make it up into the low 30s for daytime highs. Notice some snow, then some lulls in the action, then the snow fills back in again. So really off and on snow through the course of the day today, and similar along the shoreline with highs in the lower to perhaps middle 30s. Outside this morning, we have 23 in Waterbury, 28 in New Haven, 24 in Windsor Locks. The winds are out of the north, anywhere from about 5 to 15 miles per hour sustained. We've also been seeing some higher gusts, and that's making it feel even colder. It feels like 13 right now in Waterbury. It feels like 17 in Bridgeport, and it feels like 14 in Putnam. So if you're going to be out today, maybe the kids have the day off from school, outside sledding, make sure they bundle up because that wind will definitely make it feel colder. So snow today, an additional 1 to 2 inches expected, and then a dry weekend, but another system on Monday could bring us a burst of snow, then a mix, then rain. So we're going to be watching that closely. Here's Futurecast at 9 a.m. Steady snow statewide. Then it breaks up a little bit by lunchtime. Then it fills back in this afternoon into the early evening hours before finally tapering off later on tonight. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll actually start to see skies clearing out and some sunshine. There is a chance that with some colder air filtering on in from the northwest that we may see an isolated snow shower or flurry, but most of us will stay dry and enjoy some nice sunshine for a change. And here's Futurecast in terms of snowfall totals today. Anywhere from 1/2 inch to 1 inch, maybe 2 to 3 inches in some of the higher elevations. So again, not much more additional accumulation, but whatever does fall today will make our final totals about 2 to 5 inches inland, northern Connecticut, and in southern Connecticut about 4 to 8 inches. Now keep in mind places around Clinton and Killingworth yesterday picked up 6 inches, so another inch or two will bring us to that 8-inch total. And then a quick peek at Monday. When you wake up in the morning, we may have some snow showers, then that changes over to a wintry mix and rain before the whole system pulls away Monday night into early Tuesday. So we'll be watching that one very closely. Not a huge storm system, but enough that could perhaps impact travel. So your forecast highs today, upper 20s in the hill towns, low 30s everywhere else. And then for the next 7 days, we're looking at a nice weekend, sunshine, windy and chilly. Monday, our next storm system, and then a nice warm up for Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the mid to upper 40s.
The snow is also on the ground in the shoreline, and the roads are still slick in some areas there. Eyewitness News reporter Roger Susanna joins us now live in Milford. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning, Wendell. Yes, the snow continues to fall here in Milford after we got a little bit of an early morning break. The good news, though, is I can tell you there is a small army of plow truck drivers who are hitting the roads right now. I actually want you to take a look. This is Boston Post Road here in Milford, and you can see that the plow trucks have done a pretty good job getting most of the snow off the ground, but there is still some precipitation that is sticking to the roads. They're mostly just wet with some flakes on top as well. So listen, if you're driving around, you know the drill. Keep it slow. Be very, very careful. The bigger problem, frankly, are your secondary roads. Right now, I'm actually standing in a gas station parking lot, and the reason being, I wanted you to take a look at this right now. This is how many of your secondary roads look this morning. Slushy, snowy, even if they have been hit with plow trucks a few times a lot of neighborhoods are certainly still very messy along the shoreline. So if you are going to be driving to work soon, you might want to bake in a little extra time for your commute. And listen, it's snowing right now. It could be throughout a little bit more this morning. So DPW says it could be a long day here along the shoreline. Reporting live in Milford this morning, I'm Roger Suzanne, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Our team coverage continues now in Waterbury. Channel 3 Eyewitnesses reporter Aya Galal is there with a look at conditions. Good morning.
Good morning, Wendell. Yeah, we've got some flurries still coming down here in Waterbury. It was alternating earlier this morning between some light rain, and now we've got those snow flurries coming down. And I want to show you, this is what the sidewalks are looking like right by the Waterbury Green. They just sanded them, but you could see still some snow here. So be careful if you are walking along any sidewalks this morning or going into any parking lots or driveways or things like that. Now, I want to give you a look at our road conditions right now. You can see some plow trucks just going by here. Crews have been out here in full force this morning, but you could see the roads are slushy. Department of Public Works crews in Waterbury, we've seen them this morning going through and plowing this roadway, but you could see it is still messy. You have to take it slow this morning, whether you're traveling along the main roads or the side roads. It is still messy, so just be cautious, be careful. And in terms of Waterbury's snow removal budget, the good news is they are right on track here. They have $1 million. That's for salt, sand, and contractors here in the Brass City. Department of Public Works crews we spoke with say they are right on track in terms of budget. So just take it slow if you're heading out this morning. Factor in a few extra minutes if you have to brush off or clear off your car. Live in the Brass City this morning, Aya Galal, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Aya, thank you. 7:06 now. To the coronavirus in Connecticut, the latest numbers in the governor's office show that state's positivity rate is just now around 2%. That's up slightly from yesterday. But in the last day, 20 more people died from COVID-19. 16 fewer people, though, are being treated in local hospitals. We are on top of the vaccine rollout across the state. Despite a frigid winter storm across the nation this week, officials remain optimistic and positive about shipments of the COVID-19 vaccine. State officials say they don't know if the bad weather here or in other parts of the country will impact any shipments. If the weather prevents you, though, from making your COVID-19 vaccine appointment, please call to cancel so they can book someone else. They don't want to waste any shots. As of today, 68% of people 75 years old and older have been vaccinated in our state, while 29% of those between the ages of 65 and 74 have gotten at least their first dose.
My parents can now drive up, and then instead of just like sitting in the car waiting for me, they could actually like cheer me on.
As the positivity rate continues to stay under 3% in the state, we're starting to see more returning events like youth sports. Youth sports are back in Connecticut now. Governor Lamont is lifting restrictions on interstate travel for games and allowing rinks and arenas to be at least 25% capacity with a max of 200 people. As wedding events and sports return, the governor is also looking at more outdoor dining, at least when the weather warms up. There are no immediate plans to expand indoor dining as of right now. It is already at half capacity, with dining and restaurants closing at 11 p.m.
We're still trying to validate the dynamics which led up to it, but it's important that we stress that it was not a random act.
In New London, the community there in mourning after a high school student was shot and killed Wednesday night near Grand and Elm Streets. Family and friends identified the teenager as 17-year-old Rondé Ford. He was a football player at New London High School, where his father was also a coach. Police say they haven't made any arrests in the case as they continue to investigate. We're launching a new show this Sunday morning at 8:30. It's CT21 with the familiar face, Eric Parker. We caught up with Eric at his law office, and he tells us what we can expect about his new show.
So in the 5 months since I've been there in the morning, my life's really changed mostly because I get sleep now. Instead of having to be up at 4 a.m. and in there covering the day's news, I had been focused on one career, which I miss seeing the gang every morning, but it's certainly been good for my practice and for my clients. My favorite thing has always been to be a storyteller. That's why I got into this business 20 years ago. And it's what I still love about it, is telling stories. And this is a great opportunity once a week, even just for half an hour, to tell stories about the biggest things that are happening in the state of Connecticut. Talk to the newsmakers, talk to the people who are involved in those stories, get it right from them, but really get to sit down and talk about the important issues. And that's what matters to people. It's certainly different than it used to be. We were talking about just things like how the set's going to look and where people are going to be. All the guests are going to be joining us remotely, at least for the time being. So it'll be different, but it's a world we've all gotten used to. We're just going to be dealing with it and putting together a TV show. But in a way, it does give us better access to some guests, because people who might not be able to be in Rocky Hill to be in our studios to talk to us might be able to join us by Zoom. So there are some new things that have come about because of this pandemic, and I think we'll continue to take advantage of those, just like a lot of people are in their everyday lives.
So be sure to check out Eric Parker Sunday at 8:30 on CT21. Thank you so much for tuning in to Eyewitness News. Remember, you can get news and weather updates anytime on the Channel 3 app. Happy Friday, everyone.
Thanks for watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News. Watch us live wherever you are, on our mobile, on our streaming news app. And you can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.